high failure rate of the grade 11 results of 2022 and what should be done to improve performance.
The percentage of candidates graded dropped in biology.
The inadequate funding, she says, hampers the purchase of required teaching tools.
Blaming teachers and COVID-19 as a factor that contributed to the higher failure rate.
That funding availed to effectively implement the new curriculum has not been sufficient.
Now called for the abolishment of the new curriculum, alleging that it was introduced without proper consultation.
He attributed the failure of the learners to a lack of commitment from the stakeholders.
The shortage of teaching and learning material in our public schools affected learning and teaching, such as inadequate learning infrastructure.
At the end of 2017, I studied the national results of Namibia. And then I realized that Tsumkwe Secondary School was all the grade 10 as well as grade 12 schools rock bottom regarding their results. So on one Sunday morning, I drove to Tsumkwe just to familiarize myself with the situation, and luckily I met with the principal, and this is more or less where everything started.
And the day when he visited the school, we could see that the people want us to help them. The people there is so special and grateful and thankful for everything you do for them. His vision was also to reach out to the remote schools, and Tsumkwe is very remote. So I think that's where we started.
Teaching is the mother of all professions in the world. And why must a learner in rural areas be deprived from knowledge, from a source of knowledge, comparing to their peers in urban areas? There are so many aspects of what we are doing now. And the first thing that we have in mind is to give access to learners in remote schools to the World Wide Web. If we can change the life of one learner, it's fine, it's good.
We put equipment in the class, we put a smart board in. In the past year, we've also put the clever touch boards in. Then we put a camera, a sound system, a microphone. And for those schools where there's some electricity failures, we also put a system there to help us with the electricity. The smart boards and the clever touch boards are just having so many functions to help teachers. And they have so many apps that's developed especially for teachers. That's what we try to focus on, to help them to use all these apps and tools and stuff.
Technology is actually very simple. You need to connect the school to the internet. Whether that medium is via satellite or whether it's via fiber, you need to get the school connected to proper internet. Because Namibia is so big, a huge country, we've got schools that's in the bush and it's very, very far away. A round trip to a school could be 1,000 kilometers easy. In my humble opinion, a good education starts with a teacher. That is the key. In the last 5 years, we've done so much work, but we've also learned a lot. We're starting to get the grip of it. The mechanics involved, and from a apparatus point of view, obviously more the technical side. But we've got plans, and we're making plans continuously to refine the whole installation process, the whole support structure on a national scale. We're making plans daily to improve that.
There's so many different brain profiles. Not every learner learns in a specific way. the more platforms a learner can have, the better. And that's what we're trying to do with this project. Currently, we've started with the initiative of Gondwana. We've started with grade 1 as well. But in those years, it was only grade 10 to 12 in those 4 science subjects. Later on, physical science become physics and chemistry now. So the grade 10 to 12 was our main focus.
Okay, and before I answer that question, first of all, I'd like to express my personal gratitude to whoever came up with the Eduvision board, because it is really indeed a great help to my education.
The digital smart board that we sponsored with by Eduvision has really helped the learners in terms of learning, in terms of the excitements, their eagerness to learn.
The smart board goes on and it shows pictures and that other stuff. In the class, just the smart board isn't there and the board doesn't go on and show pictures.
Everyone is paying attention, concentrating while the video is being present in front of us.
If I don't understand what the teacher is saying, then I'll just come to the Eduvision board and press in what I want to understand, and then videos will be displayed on that specific topic, and I'll understand better than what the teacher says. It's better to have other alternatives than to rely and be dependent to one.
So this smart board, it's very helpful to us because it's really improve our knowledge.
When even we are looking the touchboard, learners, they don't used to sleep. So there's a big difference between a teacher teaching the class and watching the touchboard.
Like for natural science, we use the smart board to come and search like our practicals. Sometimes we have practicals which are very hard and we have to use a smart board.
You are teaching eclipses, so kids expect to see how is the earth is rotating, for example, around the sun. You see, but when you do it on the smart board, so it's quite much helpful.
It's very important because most of the time we get example from there. All the experiments and all the stuffs, we don't have it at school. So it's more easier to see them on the board, on the Clever Touch.
Because it have got internet. Even if you get stuck, now you can easily go on internet and show them that look at this example. It's very effective. We wish we had more because all the teachers are fighting for this. Everyone wants to use that class.
The teachers can also come here, like some of the chemistry teachers do, and prepare beforehand, before giving the lesson to the learners.
So when the learners see their pictures, they get a better idea of what I really want to teach them, and they are more in the act of, or they interact more.
My name is Magdalena Nuyoma, and I'm one of the products of Eduvision. I grew up in the village called the Oshtutuma village. I'm currently at UNAM Commercial campus, and I'm doing education, upper primary, majoring in mathematics and English. For me, it started 2019 when I was in grade 12. Yeah, we started going into that room where they call Eduvision room. But then when we went inside there and then I checked out the recordings and all those kind of stuff, it just gave me new information. Now we are like other schools like Windhoek.
The last person that can talk about money is me. Just because teaching, learning, education, call it whatever you like, is far beyond the borders of money. Unfortunately, somewhere along the line, we must have money to operate. Our monthly expenses is quite a sum. What really bothers me is When a class is moving to the, let us call it the Eduvision room, they must bring along their own chairs. And when they leave the room, they will take their chairs back again. Just maybe, when we can come to the Adopt-a-School policy, it is possible for a company to say, this room is our room. It is a little bit difficult to have this first world technology and by means of speaking still sitting on the floor. No. Hopefully we will solve that problem. But the best for me will be if we have a company which adopt a school and we have our school visit program. I can even contact that company, informing the company we will be at your school next week Wednesday. Do you want to travel with? Do you want to see what we are doing? I think that will also help us. When we are visiting the school, we can tell the learners, this company, they're putting money on the table as well as equipment to make sure that you have access to the best, not even in the country, worldwide. We are 19 in total. Our aim 2026 must be 50 schools. We even open up some of the lessons to non-project schools, so quite a number of learners which can gain from this. We are talking of thousands of learners at this point in time.
Paratus is trying to change the culture of corporate social responsibility. We hate that word. That little acronym CSR, or corporate social responsibility, usually have to do with handouts or something for free, and I give you something, I forget about you, and it's all gone. When we're talking about our involvement in Eduvision, we call it the social investment. The reason why we're still continuing is because in the last 5 years, we've seen tremendous return on this investment. If you don't get involved with something, a course like Eduvision, if you don't get involved with something like that, specifically education, how are you going to change things for the better? It starts with education. Education is the basics. That's where you start.
This is our calling. Nothing less, nothing more. That you can rest assured that your investment will definitely give dividends to the educational future of this country.